Welcome back to the cryptowrld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, Bitcoin just officially confirmed a massive bearish signal in this Bitcoin indicator, while the price is still playing out this massive warning signal, which I'll talk about in just a moment, alongside the fact that the price of Bitcoin is moving closer towards this next significant price target, while the price of Ethereum is continuing a larger bearish trend, also known as a bear market, while the price of Solana is following Ethereum along the way towards the downside with much lower price targets, while the price of XRP is still playing out this significant bearish signal. So I'll be talking about all of that and more later in the video, so definitely watch to the end. First of all, just before taking a look at the Bitcoin charts today, we need to take a quick look at the US stock market, which is currently crashing. In fact, this right here is the Nasdaq 100 index, so basically the tech stocks, and this is on the daily time frame in case you're wondering. And just over the last couple of weeks or so, we've currently seen more than a 12% dump, almost a 13% dump towards the downside, which is quite a large move for a massive index like the Nasdaq 100 index. And so just keep this in mind. As I always say, Bitcoin and crypto are highly correlated with the US stock market. Not a perfect correlation, but basically if the US stock market has a decent sized move towards the downside, usually that has a flow-on effect over to crypto, and vice versa. If the stock market is extremely bullish, usually Bitcoin and crypto are doing pretty well during those times when especially the tech stocks are booming. And so this is certainly not just a crypto exclusive event, this pullback right here. Obviously, stocks overall are currently pulling back quite a lot. So overall, this is affecting the crypto market in obviously a bearish direction. But with that being said, taking a look at the Bitcoin price chart here on the 4-day time frame, looking at the super trend indicator, which has just now officially confirmed a bearish crossover, a bearish signal in this indicator on the 4-day time frame, because we've now confirmed a daily candle close and actually a 4-day candle close below around $82,000 per Bitcoin, which has now officially cemented that bearish cross, that bearish signal, as we could see in the super trend indicator. And the last time we saw this signal flash, it was a bit of a false signal. We did remain around bearish to neutral for at least another few weeks before starting to finally flip more bullish again. But if we're looking at the time before that, we did see a massive bearish signal occur in this indicator right here on this Bitcoin time frame, basically right near the beginning of the 2022 bear market before much more bearish price action. And we saw something similar during around the middle of the 2021 bull market around May 2021 before we obviously saw more bearish price action over the next few weeks and months. And so this is simply another bearish signal, basically completing the trifecta between these three charts right here that I've been talking about for a long time now on the channel. So once again, we've just confirmed this bearish signal on this Bitcoin chart right here, but already for over a month now, for around 1.5 months, we've already confirmed this bearish crossover in the weekly Bitcoin MACD, as I've been saying every day over the last 1 to 1.5 months now. And so once again, this is telling us we should not really be expecting any significant bullish momentum in the short term. And instead, if we're looking at the last couple of times this happened, we either saw a pullback, just simply a dump in the price of Bitcoin, or potentially more of a bearish trend in the price of Bitcoin lasting for a period of weeks or months. And as of right now, this has already been playing out very nicely over the last 1 to 1.5 months once again. And for even longer than that signal, we've had this massive bearish divergence on the weekly Bitcoin chart for well over 2 months now, as I've been saying basically every day for the last 2 months. And so ultimately, this latest bearish signal simply just adds to the fact that we were already looking more bearish than we were bullish here on the weekly timeframes here for quite a while, with this massive bearish divergence and this bearish crossover in the weekly Bitcoin MACD. And so ultimately, because these two signals are still currently actively playing out, and due to the fact that we've just added a third bearish signal to these other signals right here that were already playing out, ultimately we are simply still looking bearish. Unfortunately, nothing's really changed recently. We're still looking bearish, as I've been saying for a long time. But of course, from time to time in the short term, we can see some little bounces here and there. So of course, I'm not saying no bullish price action at all. I'm just saying we should be expecting basically more bearish than bullish, and ultimately not a lot of bullish momentum. So sustained bullish momentum towards the upside, like what we saw back here, for example, I do not expect really any of that for at least weeks, but most likely months. And for you longer term crypto holders out there, especially for those of you that basically got into crypto back in the last bull cycle back here in around 2021, obviously you would already know this, but in case you're new to crypto, if you're new to all of this, first of all, this is very normal price action to see, especially after we just saw significant bullish price action during 2024. And one of the most important things to remember is that during these sort of bearish movements here in the price of Bitcoin, whether it's a bear market or simply just a bearish trend or a larger pullback, either way, a lot of people, basically the average people out there, just lose focus on the crypto market. They basically just log out and stop looking at crypto altogether once we start seeing a decent amount of bearish price action. But that is possibly one of the worst mistakes you could actually make. After we see a bunch of bearish price action, that's where the opportunities are at their biggest. And so if anything, you should be paying more attention, trying to focus much more on the crypto market, looking for more opportunities as we see more bearish price action, because that is simply when the opportunities arrive. The opportunities are not after we already see a bunch of bullish price action. The biggest opportunities are obviously after we first see a bunch of bearish price action. So bearish price action is not necessarily bad. It simply just means bigger opportunities are coming. And obviously, if you want to trade any of these moves in the price of Bitcoin or any other crypto, you have to be set up ready to go on a crypto exchange to actually trade any of these moves or buy or sell crypto. And personally, I'm starting to take more of my trades at the moment over on 2bit. So I'll make sure to leave a link to 2bit below this video in the description and in the pinned comment. And if you use that link, it'll take you to this page right here where you can claim some massive trading bonuses, like for example, up to a brand new Mercedes-Benz or $50,000 in trading bonuses here, simply just by trading crypto using that link. But if you're not one of these larger traders here, you can still claim some decent bonuses, like for example, a $30 sign up bonus just by making an account really quickly using that link. You get a $30 bonus onto your account, and then you can also get a 20% deposit rebate up to a max of 200 USDT. So for example, if you deposit $1,000, you get a $200 bonus onto your 2bit account, but only if you use that link. And on top of all of that, if you use the link below this video to 2bit, you will automatically upgraded to VIP level 1 trading fees, which basically means you get a massive discount on trading fees, lowered trading fees over on 2bit, but once again, only if you use that link. So if you're going to be trading crypto anyway, you might as well check this out. Once again, first link below this video. And in case you're wondering, 2bit is a no KYC exchange, which means you can access it from basically any country in the world without needing any KYC. But as always, check your local regulations when it comes to trading crypto. And for whatever reason, if you don't want 2bit as an exchange, or if you cannot access 2bit for whatever reason, there is also BTNix as another exchange out there that I also trade on myself. So I'll also make sure to leave a link to BTNix below this video in the description and in the pinned comment. And if you use that link, by the way, it'll take you to this page where you can also claim some massive trading rewards. And also, in case you're wondering, BTNix is a no KYC exchange as well. But with that being said, taking a look at this daily Bitcoin chart, and as of right now, like I said earlier, we just confirmed a break below around 82,000, which was an important Fibonacci level of support. And so some other points of support to pay attention to right now are, first of all, at roughly 78,000, we could find a small amount of support at around 78,000. And below that, we could also find a small amount of support at around 75,500 based on this 50% retracement level. But ultimately, the next significant area of support for the price of Bitcoin is this area based on previous significant resistance becoming new support, and that's sitting in between around 70,000 to 74,000. So basically in the low to mid 70k area, that's the next significant support for Bitcoin. And just underneath that area, we also have significant traded volume in the volume profile indicator, which will likely act as strong support. And so, as always, not financial advice, but if the price of Bitcoin gets there, personally, I'll be looking at around this area to start accumulating a decent amount of Bitcoin. Personally, just dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin, not necessarily going all into a 100x long position. Obviously, keep your risk in mind, but at least that is what I'll be looking at potentially doing here, accumulating more Bitcoin, maybe even accumulating a low leverage swing trade long position if the price of Bitcoin starts hitting some of these price levels like here, like for example, that low 70 70 to mid 70k area. And if we're taking a look at this daily Bitcoin price chart, we are indeed possibly forming a bullish divergence on the daily time frame, with lower lows already confirmed right now in the price, but higher lows currently potentially forming in the daily Bitcoin RSI. And so we're still actually waiting to confirm that higher low in place in the daily Bitcoin RSI, because for example, if the price of Bitcoin simply just continues dropping here, that will drag the RSI further towards the downside. And if the RSI creates a lower low below this previous low, then there's no divergence at all between the RSI and the price action. So we need to confirm some sort of bounce here in the RSI to actually confirm a higher low in place, just like that. And in order to actually do that, we need to confirm at least one, but ideally two daily candle closes here in the green to actually confirm the bullish divergence, and finally expect a little bit of a bullish relief, which will likely last for at least one, but ideally most likely a couple of weeks. But remember, at least for now, that potential bullish divergence is not currently confirmed. I want to make that clear. It's just something to pay attention to in case it confirms over the next few days here. And if we're taking a look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, right now we have a decent amount of liquidity sitting at approximately 77,000, which the price of Bitcoin as of recording this video is almost wiping out that liquidity at around 77,000. But below that level, we have a lot of liquidity at approximately 71 to 72,000. And as I always say here on the channel, usually, not always, but usually the price of Bitcoin tends to move towards where there's a lot of liquidity, especially if it's close towards the price of Bitcoin. So right now, considering most of the liquidity is currently just underneath the price of Bitcoin, it is quite likely the price will move a little lower to actually wipe out that liquidity. But remember, the price doesn't always move in a straight line. We can see other bounces here and there just in the short term along the way towards the downside. And especially if this bullish divergence confirms in the next couple of days on the daily time frame, we may end up seeing a slight little relief in the short term, but not necessarily the end of this bearish movement here, this bearish trend. Because as I've been saying for 1 to 2 months now on the channel, we cannot ignore these larger bearish signals right here on this weekly Bitcoin chart and this weekly Bitcoin chart. And now just over the last 1 day, this bearish signal now confirmed in the super trend indicator on the 4-day Bitcoin chart. But with that being said, taking a look at Ethereum on the weekly time frame, and right now the price of ETH is simply continuing this larger bearish trend, also known as a bear market. Obviously, when we're talking about a significant bearish or significant bullish trend on the weekly time frame, these are basically the bull markets and the bear markets here. So technically speaking, with a lower high confirmed and a lower low confirmed and a massive breakdown below this multi-year line of support and below previous significant lows, this is all massive bearish price structure, as I've been saying for quite some time now on the channel. And so ultimately, yes, we can see little bounces here and there in the short term, but I don't necessarily expect a massive bullish trend like this, honestly, anytime soon. It will likely take at least a number of months, possibly even a year plus, but at least a number of months before we see anything like this again. And as for other levels of support and resistance, if we're looking at the 3-day Ethereum price chart, obviously, as I said in my last video, we broke below the golden pocket. So like I said, since the price was at around 2.1k to 2.2k, the next major price target below the golden pocket is sitting at around 1880, just below 1.9k. And as I've recorded in this video, we're already hitting that level and starting to potentially drop below that level. And so especially if we confirm a candle close on the 3-day chart, for example, below around 1880, in that case, the next major price target is at approximately 1,500, 1.5k. And I've been talking about that 1.5k price target for quite a while now on the channel, since much higher prices here. And a lot of people in the comment section were telling me that I'm crazy for even talking about a 1.5k as a price target. But obviously right now it is looking more likely the price will actually hit that 1.5k price target that I've been talking about for a long time, when people were telling me there's no way we could possibly hit that price target. And as for short-term resistance, if we somehow see any little bounce here in the short term, basically expect a lot of resistance at around 2.1k to 2.2k. But overall, obviously, we're simply bearish. Clearly, in terms of the momentum here, we are bearish. And of course, we can see little bounces here and there, but ultimately, the larger trend is simply just bearish. So obviously, short positions are the more profitable situation here when we are within more of a bear market here. Of course, during a bull market, that's where you would want to be looking for long positions and things like that. But with that being said, if we're taking a look at the price of Solana on the weekly time frame, it's a similar situation right now for Solana as what I just said for Ethereum. Not necessarily as bad as what I just said for Ethereum, but it's almost getting to that point, considering the price of Solana is getting very close to breaking below very important support, which is this area right here, sitting in between around 120 to 130. And in fact, as of recording this video, we've just recently seen a slight dip below 120, but we're still waiting obviously for a candle close to actually confirm a break below 120. And as I've been saying for a long time now on the channel, since the price was back above 160 to 170, all the way back up here when we first broke towards the downside below this ascending line of support, as I've been saying since then, we have a major bearish price target based on this massive bearish rising wedge pattern, which has already broken to the downside, obviously. And that price target is sitting at around $90 per Solana. But really, the only thing that is basically preventing the price from hitting $90 is that significant support in between 120 to 130. And so for the bulls out there, at least in the short term, that is the final area to actually hold. If we lose that area, if we confirm a break with candle closes, for example, on the daily time frame, but especially on the weekly time frame below 120, and for example, if we flip that into new resistance, in that case, expect a $90 Solana sometime soon in the coming weeks. And once again, I've been calling for these much lower prices here for a while now on the channel, since much higher prices. And a lot of people here on the channel and other channels were telling me that I'm crazy, that there's no way we could possibly see this much bearish price action, when I was saying that we're likely going to see these sort of movements since all the way back up here. And obviously we are now seeing these movements play out that I've been talking about. And if we're taking a look at this daily Solana chart, we are currently potentially forming a massive bullish divergence on the daily time frame, with lower lows already confirmed in the price and higher lows currently forming in the daily Solana RSI. And so obviously this is a similar situation to what I said earlier in the video for Bitcoin. We are possibly forming the bullish divergence, but it's not yet confirmed. So I want to make that clear. We still need to potentially wait for another couple of daily candle closes to actually confirm in the green in order to cement a higher low in place in the RSI, just like that, which will finally confirm the bullish divergence if we see that confirmation. And if we see that confirmation, then we can finally expect a little bit of a relief, just a break from all of the bearish price action here, most likely for around 1 to 2 weeks, give or take. But a bullish divergence is not always a bullish trend reversal signal. Sometimes it simply just means a little bit of a short-term relief, just a break from the bearish price action before ultimately resuming the bearish trend lower later on. And so those are the price levels and price targets and signals that I'm currently paying attention to and focusing on for the price of Solana right now. But clearly here on the larger time frames, just like Bitcoin and Ethereum, as I've been saying for a long time, things are currently looking more bearish than they are bullish. And if we're taking a look at the price of XRP on the 3-day time frame, right now we're still playing out that significant bearish divergence that I've been talking about for a long time now on the channel, with higher highs confirmed in the price of XRP and lower highs confirmed in the 3-day XRP RSI, telling us we should not really be expecting any significant bullish momentum for quite a while, most likely months, obviously weeks or months. And so of course, as I've been saying, we can see little bullish moves here and there, slight little bounces in the short term, but do not expect any sustained bullish momentum towards the upside for honestly quite a long time. And if we're taking a look at the price of XRP on this 8-hour time frame, obviously we broke below that previous area of support, sitting in between around $2.25 to $2.30. And the moment we broke below $2.25, I said expect a quick move down towards around $2, and that is exactly now played out as expected. And so in case you're new to all of this, that's a very simple example of a trading opportunity where you can actually profit from crypto while everyone else is losing money. That is right. For example, if you simply just open a short position, once we actually confirm a break below a key point of support, and then hold that short position until we hit the next support, and then take profits out of the short position at the next support. Obviously, that's a very simple, basic trading strategy here. With basically 2 clicks of a button here, you could have made a bunch of profits along the way towards the downside. And so obviously, while everyone else out there has been telling you that we're going to the moon, that Bitcoin's going to 200K, 300K very soon, obviously I've been telling you that do not expect a lot of bullish momentum anytime soon. In fact, expect drops towards these next areas of support if we first break below these areas. And so simply just by following along with this channel, you should be making profit while everyone else out there is losing money, which basically increases your position within the overall crypto market. And so now obviously with the price of XRP running into this area of support in between $1.95 to $2.05, obviously at least on this chart right here, this is the final significant area of support that we really have at all, at least on this chart right here. So what should we be expecting next if the price of XRP actually does break below $1.95 with confirmation? And well, in that situation, if we first confirm that break towards the downside below that support, honestly, we could retrace all the way back down towards around $1.40 to $1.50. That is right. We could potentially see another 50-cent drop in the price of XRP. I'm talking about a 30% dump coming next in the price of XRP if we first break below this support. I want to make that clear, at least for now, we are still finding support within this area in between $1.95 to $2.05. And we also have to be aware of the fact that the RSI here on the 8-hour time frame is getting close to oversold territories. And the last few times this has happened here on the 8-hour time frame, we have seen a bit of a bounce in the short term, not necessarily the bottom. Yes, we can go lower later on, but we at least saw a bit of a bounce. And so obviously, if you missed that trading opportunity from the previous break towards the downside below that previous support, right now, as of recording this video, based on where the price is currently sitting at, I'd not necessarily want to open a new shorts position right now. But if, for example, we see maybe a slight little relief, reset the RSI a little bit, and then ultimately confirm a break below around $1.95 below this support, then in that situation, that could be another trading opportunity. And as for resistance, if we see a further bounce from this area of support, I would expect previous support to become new resistance. So in between $2.25 to $2.30, acting as strong resistance. And if we're zooming further into the short term, looking at the 3-hour time frame, obviously for close to a day, around 3/4 of a day here, we did see this short-term oversold signal play out very nicely in the form of just a slight little relief. But remember, this oversold signal that I talked about in my last video was only on the 3-hour time frame, the immediate short term we're talking about here. And so, like I said yesterday, yes, we can see a slight little relief from oversold signals, but that does not guarantee we've hit the bottom. We can ultimately go lower, which is obviously what happened over the last one day. We saw a slight relief and then dropped lower after first resetting the RSI, giving us some more room towards the downside. But this is also now possibly forming just a short-term bullish divergence with lower lows already confirmed in the price in the candle closes and higher lows currently forming in the 3-hour XRP RSI. But I want to make this clear, at least for now, that possible bullish divergence is not yet confirmed. It's just possibly forming, but it could confirm at some point in the next few hours or in the next day potentially. And so with this bullish divergence, if it actually confirms at the same time as the price running into this area of support, we may end up seeing a slight little relief, a break from all of the bearish price action, but not necessarily the end of this bearish trend. But with that being said, if we're taking a quick look at the price of Chainlink on the daily time frame, as of recording this video, the price of Chainlink is running into this next significant level of support at approximately $12.80 based on the 78.6% Fibonacci level at $12.80. But if we actually confirm a break with especially a daily candle close below $12.80, and especially if we actually flip that into new resistance by rejecting from that level like that, then in that case, the next major price target towards the downside is at $10. That is right, $10 per Chainlink. And if we were to see any sort of bounce from this level of support, in that case, expect a lot of resistance at approximately $14.50 to $15, give or take, and significant resistance at around $17.50 to $18. But obviously, as I've been saying for months now on the channel, the larger situation, the longer term situation is simply just bearish right now for the price of Chainlink. We're currently forming lower highs and lower lows, breaking below key points of support and rejecting from key points of resistance, flipping previous support into new resistance, which is all bearish price structure. But remember, you can actually profit during all of this bearish price action here by using things like shorts positions, for example. And once again, if you want to trade any of these moves for yourself, check out the links below this video to those exchanges if you want to claim those massive bonuses that are only available using those links. And if you want to actually know how to trade crypto, no matter if the price is bullish, bearish, or chopping around sideways, you can profit from all of that price action by watching these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how you can profit from bullish or bearish price action using long positions or short positions, and the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that is everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.